battling squatters who try to use the law to take control of a property. Trevor Alt is here with the story. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Rebecca. So these headlines come as the NYPD says a homeowner was actually murdered by a pair of squatters that she walked in on, and officials want to avoid potentially dangerous confrontations.
Hey babes, thanks for tuning in to Too Hot to Sit podcast, where the tea stay hot and ready to be spilled. Babes, did you get the chance to follow this podcast yet? No? Then what are you waiting for? Go ahead and do it now. I don't think you want to miss out on these crazy topics. Also, you can follow us on our social media. It will always be listed down below in the description box. Okay, well, stay tuned for this new episode today. Bye. Mwah. Well, good morning or good afternoon or good evening. Wherever you are, you guys, it is the weekend. I hope everyone is having a great weekend. But child, I came on here because we have to discuss lightly on this here, as I am not a home earner, so I don't really know too much of housing situation like that. But after watching this video or even just looking at Instagram posts regarding it, it kind of opened my eyes to like the crazy laws that we have in place in United States. It makes zero sense, and literally this is number one of it. So please listen to this clip that I had pull up from YouTube regarding this situation, and let's go ahead and discuss it right after it. Okay, stay tuned, pay attention.
Camera. It is a scene that highlights how some homeowners across the country are battling squatters who try to use the law to take control of a property. Trevor Alt is here with the story. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Rebecca. So these headlines come as the NYPD says a homeowner was actually murdered by a pair of squatters that she walked in on, and officials want to avoid potentially dangerous confrontations. But the process of legally removing a squatter can be extremely frustrating and expensive and time-consuming, and some homeowners, like the one we're about to see, are fed up.
You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
This morning, a squatter standoff caught on camera by our station WABC.
There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
Adele Andaloro says she inherited this New York City house, but a group of people moved in and changed the locks. The NYPD called in, arresting one man.
Why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. He needs to go to court.
But this man, forcing his way back inside, was allowed to stay. He told investigative reporter Dan Krauth he signed a lease in October, though he showed no proof.
So how does this all end then? When do you leave?
The way it ends is either she pays me my money that I put into the house, pay me the money, and I'll leave, or send me to court, and we deal with the judge in court.
In New York City, squatters have tenants' rights after 30 days, making this a landlord-tenant dispute. So when Adele had the locks changed again...
You're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
Police then took her away in handcuffs for unlawful eviction. When it comes to squatters, homeowners across the country have to navigate a slew of laws which vary by state. In Chicago, Danielle Cruz told our station WLS when she tried to sell her home in 2022, a woman moved in claiming to have a lease.
So we show up with the cops, and there's a young woman in there with all of her belongings. They said, unfortunately, they couldn't prove that she was trespassing. We have to go to court and follow the eviction process.
But one man is fighting back.
I understand you've been squatting at this residence?
ABC's Jacqueline Lee met with Flash Shelton, who calls himself the squatter hunter.
Is this a growing problem?
I think that it's a growing problem like anything else.
When a squatter took over his mother's house, Flash had her lease the home to him, and then he moved in with the squatter until they left. He's now using the same tactic at other homes.
I would have had a right as a leaseholder to go in, move in on him, put cameras on, and eventually lock him out, and that I could force him to civilly try to fight to get back into a property that he couldn't prove that he had a legal right to be in.
Experts advise always getting an attorney to navigate legal evictions, but warn it can be costly, take several months.
Squatters are looking for an opportunity, and if they think a property is not being maintained or visited, they may make attempts to enter that property that they have no rights to enter in.
And part of the reason this is even possible is because of loopholes in tenancy laws. For obvious reasons, you can't have a landlord be able to change the locks at any time if there's a person who is staying there. Of course, this process can be maddening, and that New York case at the beginning of the piece, that's still unresolved. She will have to go to court to get those people out of her house.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It costs her time and money.
It could be more than a year.
And not even be able to have access to your home for a while.
Yeah, after her parents pass, that's the only reason she has the home.
Oh, wow. All right, Trevor. Thank you for highlighting that.
Well, hey there, GMA.
Whew, child. So after hearing that, it is ridiculous how in America, now I don't know if other countries have this situation with tenants and squatters and stuff like that, but for my opinion, America have the most holes in their laws and a lot of fucked up laws that don't make sense, especially in a time where everything is evolving. We're not back in the 1742s or 1620s or 1540s. We're not back in them eras anymore. We're in an era where we are mostly prone to electronics, right? Because back then, people would never imagine that they would literally have a fan that would fucking blow air, cool air at that, in their room. Okay? Back then, it's open a window, open doors. People won't come in like that into your house because they know how fucking crazy and loose guarded and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, going back on this squatter situation, I don't understand how America have laws for people that does not have legal binding to someone's home. It don't matter if the home was emptied because you never know who is the owner, the next owner. Like this young lady said, her parents died and the house automatically went over to her. She inherited the parents' home. Right? So that means legally, with documents, statements, and everything from the courts, from the states, from the city halls, etc., she is the owner of this house. Now, it does not matter if she have not done not a goddamn thing. The house could be sitting and look like a fucked up shack for all we care. But it does not mean that strangers, which have no documents whatsoever speaking to the correct owner of the house, to sit and squat and not pay rent and etc., saying that you have a lease, a contract from someone else that is not the owner or the management company of the home for you to stay here. Like, how is she's getting arrested and she's changing the locks in her house after these squatters change all the locks, change whatever else in the house, which do not belong to them, which they did not speak to the actual owner of the home to do so? Why are we giving fucking rights to, I'm sorry to say, but homeless people to live in a home that someone else owns, literally, legally? You know what I'm saying? That's like a fucking, excuse me now when I'm saying fucking, but a fucking homeless person coming to stay in your house while you went on vacation for a month or two, and saying, oh, because you wasn't home, you was on vacation, these people came and moved into your house, and now they have the rights to stay there. And for you to get them to leave because they've been staying there for 30 days and more, now you have to pay lawyer fees, pay court fees, then hope and pray that this process do not take over several months to years to get these people out when you're trying to sell this home or even renovate the house for your grandbabies or whatever, or your kids, because they're at age now where they could be homeowners now, or you're trying to actually put the house up to code to rent it properly. But no, now you have to wait years and months and waste time and money to get strangers, keyword strangers, out of your own home, keyword out of your own home that you're paying taxes for, because these squatters not paying rent. These squatters not paying the land fees. And for goodness sakes, how were they even able to connect water and lights onto this house? How are they paying for that? Because in the video, it looked like they had TVs, they had fucking lamps, they had, foods and snacks, and this girl rolling up in her car, and it looked like a good standing car up in the 2000s. Right? She got her little Tory Burch purse, it looked like. And she's walking freely up and opening doors. So she have a car. So she's not even homeless, child. She's working. She has a car. She's paying car notes, car insurance, have a job. Okay? But she's not paying rent to the actual owner. She's paying quote unquote rent to a whole different stranger that stranger do not even own or even know the owner. That's pretty strange for United States to even allow that. Like literally for the cops to even arrest the owner because, that has to go to Silver Sue and she is illegally evicting strangers out of her own home is wild to me. Is wild. It's like, where do bullshit stops in America? Where do bullshits of laws and statements and all these other nonsense bills and rights and this and that, like those bullshit stop? Where does it stop? Or do we just allow anyone in the office and create these random fucking bills because they're in their feelings and they went through some traumatic situation? Now they want to pass it among everyone so everyone could follow it. No, that is not right. That is humanely, am I saying that right? But humanely wrong. Okay? It is wrong. Humanely wrong. Okay? I feel like the cops should have never touched the owners. I feel as if the cops, knowing that she have the deed to the house, knowing that there is no whatsoever contract with her signature on it, the cops should have been arresting the squatters. It should not, like, if the squatters wanted to bring this to legal matter, that's on the squatter's position, not the owner. If anything, they should never arrested the owner because the owner have the deed to the house. The owner do not have a contract with her signature on it saying that, yeah, I am leasing my home to these people. So the officer should have been arresting the squatters, and the officer should be saying, okay, if y'all feel as if y'all did rented the house from her, y'all need to go to court right after you're able to get out of jail. Go to court and prove it to court for you to be able to come back to this house. But until then, this is her house. She has zero contract stating she rented the house to you. So you guys need to leave. She is able to change the locks in her home. And until then, until y'all resolve that in court, you are no longer able to come to this house. That's how that shit should have been handled. Not the other way around where the owner is the one getting arrested. Like, how stupid is that? How stupid. That is so fucking crazy. And let it have been one of the cops. Let it have been one of the governors. Let it have been the fucking president. Let it have been anyone from the Congress home, the Congress states or whatever you want to fucking call those shits. But anyone from Congress, let them have went on vacation and left their house unattended, unused for months on end, and squatters got in. And I already hear y'all will be like, well, these people, they always have like securities. They always have like, they stay in like subdivision where there's securities around, stay in condos where there's security around, da 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 da. That's still no excuse, because even there's securities or whatever, let's be honest, securities are human. They go to sleep. Like, if they're working a late night shift, baby, they is tired, they're asleep. They're going in. They're going to go under the arms, jump over the gates, and they're going to look into homes to see which homes has been empty for a while, and they're going to live there, okay? How they're going to get in and out with cars, that's on their own. I don't know. But they do find ways. People find ways to get into shit, okay? Let's be honest. But if it did happen to one of these higher power people, they will feel some type of way. Okay? They'll be like, fuck the law. No, bitch, this is my house. You're not gonna fucking live in my house. So, it needs to be treated all around. It don't matter if you in a higher power or what. Everybody should be treated exactly. If I am an owner to something, no one else should have a piece of that something if I did not give you my signature, a contract, letting them know they can use my things. Okay? So, honestly, this is a whole type of bullshit. Instead of the governor and governments and Congress and people in the Senate and stuff like that is trying to make bills to remove rights from women's, making rights for the LGBT people, changing the bill for marriages, changing the bill so that white and black people don't mix, and etc. They need to really push that aside, because that right there is personal reasoning. You're creating that. No. People that needs to be in office need to think about the entire world, meaning America. What is going on in America? What is so weird and so strange about certain bills and rights and stuff like that that have been placed that make zero sense? They need to be focusing on that. And number one is squatters' rights. That's what they need to be focusing on. Second, they need to be focusing on how the fuck are we going to fucking continue to build our community, our human race, when food supplies are diminishing? How are we going to bring everyone back into the workforce after this pandemic situation? How are we going to balance the pay rate towards home ownerships or buying food, buying clothes, just maintenance of a person, so that everyone is able to fucking eat comfortably, go on vacation comfortably, able to pay their house comfortably, and all the little miscellaneous bills on the side comfortably? How are we going to clean up all these homeless people in the streets right now? How are we going to fix our society right now to make sure it's a prosperous society? Making sure no one is without society. That's what they need to be focusing on. Not bullshit of allowing, rat buckets live in your fucking house. It's bad enough you already got roaches and rats living in your home for fucking free, eating up your shit, chewing up your clothes and shoes and bags and whatever else they can find, birthing other rats and insects and roaches and shit in your house. And every fucking year you have to spend $100 or so money to cover your house, buy product to kill these fuckers. Now you have to deal with human rats doing the same fucking shit. You're kidding me. No, something needs to be done. Literally. You guys, please let me know down below about this situation of squatters and the bills that is in place for squatters. How do you feel if you are an owner to a house that you may just use it for a couple months and leave it vacay, and people come and stay in it for months on end and you did not know? How do you feel about this owner being arrested? Let's have this conversation down below. I would like to hear y'all conversation. I would like to hear y'all thoughts and opinions on this matter. For me, I disagree. I feel like America needs to do better. So let's keep this shit rolling, you guys. Talk to you guys soon. Hey babes, thanks for tuning in and listening to this episode. Like, share, and follow our podcast if you really enjoyed today's topic, because there's so much more to come, and I don't think you want to miss out. Okay, I didn't think so. Well, babes, see you later on the next episode. Bye.